Dustin, love the channel, man. Keep up the great work. Number one observation from this year's team: when it comes to defense, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is. It's tough. I mean, it feels like for as long as I can remember, the Packers' run D is just suspect. It's just always suspect, which is tough because after week 1, I was hoping that this was the year that the D-line was going to play better against the run. And I think it's easy to put the blame on Joe Barry just because he's a coordinator. And even after the game, I remember saying in my video, oh man, Joe Barry's run defense. But, thinking more on it, there were tons of missed tackles. The Falcons' offensive line blocked really well. The Packers couldn't get off their blocks and had tons of missed tackles. So, obviously, I think the blame falls on Joe Barry and the defense. I mean, I think it's a mix of both. But you just do hope that with your coordinator, with what you have, you hope that they figure out a way to stop the run. And I even saw in the fourth quarter, Joe Barry was added an additional interior defensive lineman. So there were 4 interior defensive linemen with 2 edge rushers. So he was trying to stop the run. He was trying to do it, and it still didn't work. The Falcons started to pass it even more. Ridder played really well in the fourth quarter. He had 3 near picks. 1 was a pick. But in the fourth quarter, the play calling on the Falcons was nice. That little, read where Ridder took it, Gary bit on the run. He runs in. The Falcons were they were doing whatever they wanted to the Packers in the fourth quarter. And as I said in a video the other day, if the Packers offense, I think the Packers offense takes equal blame to the defense in the fourth quarter, because if we had one drive where we just ran the clock down a little bit, get a field goal even, we probably win that game. Alex says Jordan Love needs to settle into his 2-minute drills and game. He was throwing dimes all up into the pressure, got to him. He's not quite Aaron Rodgers yet. Yeah, those few final drives in the fourth quarter weren't great. The throw on the I think was it 3rd or 4th down wasn't bad. It was a tough catch. I think it was Toure. But yeah, I think there are some accuracy things and some communication that Love and his receivers need to fix, because there were a few plays where it just looked like him and the receivers weren't on the same page. But all in all, I like what I've seen from Love. Matthew says Ridder was a leader out there. All of his touchdowns were earned. Yeah, he had that. He was solid in the fourth quarter. Earlier I was like, he looks bad back there, but he had some nice runs. He had 40 rushing yards. Tony says, I was at the game last week and the Atlanta fans were ruthless with the trash talk when we lost. I bet. Into house with Izzy says our defense lost the game against Atlanta. They're a big factor. Jermaine says, can we just stop complaining about our team? It's a young team. You're going to have a few losses. That is correct. It was definitely a winnable game, though, up 24-12. But that's still, too, without our four of our offensive top players when Jenkins went out. Travis says, Love to look good. I agree. Matthew says, all you have to say is 20-3. That'll never go away. That's a good point. Hayden says, how would you feel about putting Tom at left guard and Yosh at right tackle till we get Jenkins back? That could work. Because Royce Newman, I don't think he really let up too much in the passing game or in the pass blocking. Let me look up his stats from the other day. Yeah, he didn't allow any pressures in 32 snaps at left guard, Royce Newman, but he had a 47.9 grade in the running game. That could be a possibility, but I do like Tom a lot at right tackle. He's played really, really well. But Yosh played pretty solid last year at right tackle. Maybe the Packers try something new this week. We'll see.